We're now joined by the UCLA student athletes, Charisma Osborne and Lauren Betts. Welcome to Albany, and we'll open up the questions.
Hi, Lauren. Charisma, good to see you both. Lauren, question for you. Obviously you have a different game from Camila Cardozo, but in both cases, you guys are players of size taking on Angel, and I'm wondering what you've seen out of the video, potentially of South Carolina, LSU, and what you kind of take into your strategy for that game.
Yeah, I mean, watching that game, obviously, it was super physical from the beginning, and I think that's the type of game that I'm going to be walking into, but I think that's what we've been preparing for all week. I think, obviously, Angel and I are going to be really, aggressive inside. I think just, not falling into foul trouble, I think, is super important in this game, obviously, because, Angel's going to try to obviously go through me this game, and I think just making sure that I stay disciplined in my defense, just making sure I communicate with the guards on the screens, just being there to, rebound, not letting her get O boards, I think is super important.
Doug Feinberg, the AP. I don't know if you took a moment during the Pac-12 tournament to think this is the end of this conference, but the teams have had a lot of success, including you guys. Is it neat to see so many sort of friendly faces from the conference still around in the Sweet 16, including you guys, and obviously Colorado's here as well?
Yeah, I think it's really cool to see a lot of Pac-12 teams still in the tournament, and I think that just shows how great the Pac-12 was all year round and how well we've prepared each other for this time of the year.
Right here on the left. Go ahead.
Oh, yep. I meant to identify Howard Magdal at the next. Charisma, for you, a major differentiator between these two teams all year has been pace of play. And I'm just wondering two things. One, how important do you think it is to play at the pace you guys are best playing at? And then just related to that, how you go about imposing pace early on. What do you do to make sure it works that way, even in the early minutes of a game?
Yeah, I think a lot of that has to do with how well we play defense and how well we rebound. We're really good in transition, so if we're getting stops and rebounding, then we can really push the pace and play our game. So I think that'll be super important, and I think our team knows that. And we're really good at both of those things, so we just need to be ourselves and do that.
Pete Doherty, Albany Times Union. For both players, can you talk a little bit about the travel to get here? I understand you had a little bit of an issue last night and got here late, and just trying to play what amounts to an early morning game for you on Saturday.
Yeah, we practice in the morning, so it's not that different, I would say, as far as playing. But yeah, our plane got delayed a little bit, but that's no excuse for how we'll play tomorrow, and we'll be ready.
Yeah, just a little adversity, we'll be fine.
Michael Cobble, WBRZ TV in Baton Rouge for Lauren. Just everyone speaks about Angel, but Anissa does a lot of the dirty work down low as well. How much have you seen and having to battle two bigs, even though Anissa may be a little undersized?
Yeah, I mean, Anissa, another great post player. She's really talented, really physical. I think, like I said before, pretty much same game plan. Obviously, she steps out in the perimeter a little bit more. So if, Angela and I get switched up ever, just making sure I pick her up early and find her, and just stay disciplined on defense, I think, is going to be the most important thing for me this game tomorrow, just making sure that I'm not fouling, and I think that's going to be the most important thing.
Back here. Oh, go ahead. Yep.
Scott Rabelais with the Baton Rouge Advocate. Obviously, you guys are playing the defending reigning national champions, but don't like to use the word defending. But and you guys come from a place where there's a lot of famous people around. You live and play there, but the fact that they are the reigning champions, and there's a lot of notoriety with this team with commercials and magazine covers and things like that. Does it add a different edge to it as compared to if you were playing somebody else?
I think there may be a little bit more hype around the game because of that, but we try not to really focus on that. We're just focused on basketball and playing hard and doing what we do.
Further questions? Yes, right here.
Just to piggyback off that, do you guys have personal relationships with anybody on LSU's team?
We both played with Angel this past summer on the AmeriCup team for USA Basketball, so obviously we know her from that. But obviously we don't get the time to hang out like a lot, when we're in season and everything. But we did have a really good time together this past summer. So.
And I played with Haley for USA Basketball, like for U17s too.
Does having that familiarity help in any way? Having seen them at practice, having kind of practiced alongside of them and played with them?
Yeah, I just know what type of player Angel is, like super aggressive, really talented inside post player. So yeah, I think I have an idea of what I'm walking into. Obviously it's different when she's playing with like her teammates at LSU and that chemistry that she has with them, it's gonna be a little different, but inside I just, I felt how physical she is before, so yeah.
Down front here, first on the left.
Hi, Patty and Rob with the Associated Press. Just kind of a associated question with the travel across. How much sleep did you guys get last night? Is there any kind of changes you would like to see for West Coast teams? I know they had teams in here at 6 a.m. doing shoot-arounds, and you guys had to be here in what was 4 a.m. your time. So is there anything you think they should do better for the West Coast teams that have to travel?
We didn't get that much sleep. Maybe I would say I went to sleep at 12:45. We had to be up for breakfast by 7:45, so not that much sleep. Obviously, it helps that we have today to sleep and get used to the time change. But I think our plane got delayed. That's something that's just uncontrollable, and we just have to adjust to that. And obviously, no one purposely made that happen. And if that didn't happen, we would have maybe gotten a little bit more sleep. So I don't know if there's anything different, because I think that was just an accident.
Yeah,
it's
it
not
was just
like
unfortunate.
someone made it happen on purpose. So
Yeah.
Doug Feinberg, DAP. For either one of you, I'm curious from the player standpoint, do you feel a growth in women's basketball, fans, attention? Do you see it that maybe from the inside of, hey, when I was younger, this wasn't like this?
Yeah. I would say there is a lot of hype around women's basketball right now, and it's a really I'm just really grateful to be a part of it. I think especially right now, I think it's, with all of the amazing basketball players that we have that are kind of just taking over, it's really amazing to just see that. I think growing up, it's just, I don't think I ever saw women's college basketball in this light that, it is in right now, and it's just, it's really amazing.
yeah, and I think even in Los Angeles, the amount of people that have come out to our game, and obviously USC was hosting as well, and there was big crowds for both games. So I think just the growth of the sport and seeing so many people who maybe you would think know nothing about women's basketball coming out to the games has been really cool to see.
Jacques Doucet, WAFB TV in Baton Rouge, kind of my same question, but what is it like to play in the tournament, and with all the stars and the feedback that you're getting now from people who maybe didn't watch women's basketball in the past?
It's super cool. I think it's so much fun playing in the tournament, and seeing people on commercials, even watching other games. I think that's really cool, and it just continues to grow the game for women's basketball.
Yeah.
Lauren, Charisma, you each made a specific decision to opt into this UCLA team. Charisma, you could have played in the WNBA. Lauren, you made the decision to come here. Have each of you thought about what the next couple of days can mean in terms of being able to take this team a place that it hasn't been in a very long time, and by some arguments ever?
Lauren, you want to start that one?
Yeah. Obviously, I think me and Charisma are just we're really bought into the goals that this team has, and we're going to do anything we can to take this team where it wants to go. And obviously, it's really easy to think about what's ahead, and I think we're just really trying to take this tournament day by day and just really focus on what we need to do and stay really present. I just think it's really easy to think about, the future and what, could happen with our team. But I just think even today, just making sure that we focus in on our practice and what we need to get better at so that, tomorrow we play the best game that we can.
Yeah, just to add, that's what I came here to do. I came back because I wanted to experience this, especially with this team. So like Lauren said, we're just taking it day by day, and we'll go from there.
For both players, again, watching from afar, it seemed like every time you saw scores from the Pac-12. It's a ranked team playing a ranked team, then you're playing another ranked
Yeah.
team. How did your conference prepare you for this in terms of the toughness, the styles that you play? Do you feel like you're prepared for just about anything?
Yeah, I mean, I would say obviously like it's the best conference, so every single game that we're walking into, it's got to be like the best scout. We have to be, prepared to go in a top 10 matchup every single night. So I think it really has prepared us for, this kind of tournament, these type of games. And I feel like specifically for like, as a post, I feel like I'm playing against the best bigs in the country every single game. And so I feel like it's honestly just made me better, and I've had to grow each single practice. Like I can't really settle with what I've been doing. I have to learn from each game and figure out what I need to do. So, in the tournament like this, I just bring something different. So.
Well said.
Here, last one.
Andrea Adelson with ESPN.com. For both players and Charisma, if you want to start, just the experience of being in the Sweet 16 last year. What kinds of lessons did you learn going through that maybe can help or apply this time around to make things a little bit different?
Yeah, I think just sticking to who we are. I think last year when we played, it was like the first time a lot of us had played in the Sweet 16, and I played in it during COVID, so that was even like really different for me. But I think just going into this game, like our experience will help us out so much, and just remembering who we are and doing the things that we know to do consistently.
Thank you to the student athletes.
Thank you, guys.
Next up will be LSU at 9:55.